an customer and ownership of an cloud provider. And then we'll come across what are all the best practices that one can have for using AWS cloud. So at the end, we'll be having an interactive quiz. We'll come across it. So let's begin with why AWS budget matters. So I'll stop here, and I'll quickly give you a poll. Give me a minute. Um, okay, so I have posted a Q&A in the chat. It will be visible to you all. Can you all respond to this? That is, have you ever accidentally overspent on anything which is digitally available? Could be any platform. The chat box is open for you all. You can respond to it. Khwaja, I hope it is visible to you. The Q&A that I have posted.
No, I can't see. Okay.
Okay, it's not visible. Okay, 1 second. I'll repost it 1 second. Okay, I hope the poll loads for you all now. Okay, is it visible now?
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah, so you can all respond to this. It will be visible on your screen and you can quickly respond to it. Did you ever spend or say overspent accidentally over the internet? Okay, so 3 people have said that they have spent. Okay. So why AWS budget matters is whenever you are using any services over the AWS management console account, you will have to create a budget that is, say, you can call it $1, $50, $50, $100, whatever your limit is. And once the limit exceeds, the services will terminate. So you will be notified that that your limit has exceeded. Your limit has exceeded, and you'll have to pay for it, or say the free amount of services is over. Now we will be charged per hour. So we'll learn how to create an AWS budget in the AWS management console. So I'll reshare my screen. Okay. So in the Google, you can search for AWS management console, sign in for it. Okay, give me a minute. I'll sign it quickly. Okay. Okay. Is my screen visible to everyone? Khwaja or anyone?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Okay, thanks. So you can quickly search for budgets in the search bar, and you will get this service called billing and cost management. So once you click this billing and cost management, you will find a dashboard for what exactly you have spent across the month, across the year, across the time of account creation. So you can come over here. This is my existing bill that it has been generated on my account. I mean the services that I have been using. So we'll quickly come to this section where you can create a budget and a planning. You can, I hope you can see, you can find this section, and you can click on this budget, and perfect. So you have to come on the right top corner of your screen, click on create budget, and okay, so there will be a existing template provided by AWS, so that whenever it exceeds $1 limit or say $0.1 limit, your services. Sorry. Hello. Okay. So you will have to create an sorry, you will have to use an existing template provided by AWS for better I mean, to avoid any kind of bills. And the second thing, that is zero budget spend. So AWS will by default provide you a budget that is for $0.01. So you need not to worry about your billings, and you can simply name it, and then you'll have to give an alternate email ID. For now, I'll give you this email ID, which is just a sample email ID, and I'll have to create the budget. Okay. So there is an existing budget in this name, my zero spend budget. So I'll create it as 2, and I'll create the budget. So it will take a minute or two, if it depends upon the internet or say the server. And the moment you create a budget, that is you can see here, that is my zero spend budget 2. So whenever you exceed the limit of $0.1 to $1, you will be notified over the service called simple notification service, that is SNS. So you will be notified through mail or say SMS or any provided platform. And you can also try to explore this section on this left side. That is, you can go to the cost explorer. Okay, so you can click on the cost explorer. You can come across, okay, I have an existing billings on my account. So you can come to this section, and you can see that I have in the month of June, I have used for $0.03. And once it exceeded $0.01, I immediately terminated the services if when it was not required for me. So for the July month, it was the same. For the August, it was the same. Till October, it was the same. And in November, it exceeded for like $0.99 because I was using the EC2 services. As you can see on the screen, you can see this EC2 other services, that is $0.99, and $0.18 is for the tax, and rest all were the zero. So there are many services you can use for free on AWS, and you will be charged only when the limit has been exceeded. So you can simply, you can create a date range and quickly get a report that from one of the month, from 2nd of the July till the 11th of the July, how much bill was generated, and you can quickly click on the apply button, and then you'll come across this site that I have spent $0.00 at this time. So many other such things you can actually explore. There are many things in this section. So there is another section called pricing calculator. We will come across this in the upcoming classes, where you will be creating an estimation of the pricing of the services that you are using. And this is the case where it comes in a real place where you will be working in a company, and you will be asked to create a cost estimation or say estimated calculated price for a particular service or set of services across the set of period of time. So suppose there is a service called EC2 service, and a customer is going to use that EC2 service of 4 CPUs for a year. So you will have to create an estimation for that particular EC2 service, and AWS will provide an automated generated bill for it, which will be certified by AWS, and you can send it to the customer. So that will be an estimated pricing of your bill. So let's get back to let's get back to where we are. Okay. So why do we use this budget? So why do we are what are all the reasons that we are going to use this AWS budget? So first is very obvious, that is prevent unexpected charges. So suppose you keep a service on for say a week and you forgot that you have to terminate it, and then you will come to know that, oh, okay, a bill of $3 has been generated, and my email has been spammed with multiple mails from AWS that mera bill bhar do, mera bill bhar do. So for to avoid this thing, you will have to create an AWS budget. So you can go through, if people have not created an account, you can create your account, go through this recording once again, and then you can create an budget for the same. And the second thing is you can track spending patterns. As I've shown you just now, you can actually track that from what time to what time period of time, what services have been charging a lot or what services are being not used at all. You can track those things. And also you can learn this safely because they are providing many benefits by AWS Cloud that you can actually use your account on a free tier, that is for 40 hours per month, which can be increased as per the time. That is variable by AWS. So let's get into the second thing, that is how AWS budgets work. So as I shown you in the past steps, first you have to set your limit. You have to configure the alerts that you have to give your email ID, and then they will be sending you a mail through a service called AWS SNS, that is Amazon Simple Notification Service. So in that you will be getting a mail whenever the limit of $0.01 has been exceeded. The third thing, you have to monitor your activity, that at what time period your services were spiked up. Taking an example of Book My Show, during the time of say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a large number of servers were used, and you can actually track at what time how many users were actually using the service, and what are all the that were charged at that time. And very important thing, that is taken action. So whenever you see that a set of services that are highly charged for us, what you can do, you can reduce the number of CPUs at that time, and you will be charged for that. And another case, that is you say you have been there is a service called S3 and you are not at all using that service. So what you can do, you can actually monitor and check, okay, my S3 service is not being used for a really long time. So what you can do, you can terminate that service for say a week or two. So this is why AWS budget is very important when you create an account in AWS Management Console. So coming back to the basic part, that is this platform does not need to understand any coding languages. This is just like basic English. You have to come configure your say you have to set your budgets, and yeah, that is how you go ahead. So I'll stop here and I'll create another poll for you all. Give me a minute. Okay, I'll create a Q&A section. You can open the chat and try to reply for it. I have posted a Q&A in the chat. Is it visible to you all? Khoja, can you confirm? No?
Hello,
Okay.
Vidya. No,
Okay. I think there's an issue with this Q&A section. I'll create a poll for it. I'll give me a minute. I'm just typing the question. Okay, so I have posted a quiz as a poll. At least you can reply for it. I hope it is visible to everyone on your screens. You can quickly respond to it. Okay. Okay. I see people started responding to it. Okay, so it is very simple question when you create an or you say you have given a credit card and there is no spending limit. So suppose it is someone else's card, would you simply just create an billings of thousands of rupees or say thousand lakhs of rupees and then and make someone else worry about it? No, right. So you what you will do, you'll just simply set a limit and spend accordingly to your budget. So this is the main point of creating an AWS budget. So let's get into identity and access management. Just a second. I'll reshare my screen. Okay. So yeah. So why do we need identity and access management? It is a very simple topic that is, suppose there is a migration project in your company that a company wants to migrate from on-premises to the cloud. And what happens in this section is you will have to create a team and a set of members will be working on some certain services and another team will be working on certain services. So what you can do simply is you can create a group. You can simply create a group. You can create a number of people and those number of people will be assigned to certain amount of services and only those people will access those services. So why do we use identity and access management is to avoid unnecessary billings, unnecessary usage of very important services. So as the definition says, you'll have to create an built-in security within your team where you will have to provide certain policies to certain users in certain groups. So let's quickly have an hands-on experience on how do we use identity and access management. I'll reshare my screen. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you can go back to the AWS Management Console to the home screen. You can quickly search for IAM, that is Identity and Access Management. There is a service called IAM. You can manage access to the AWS resources in this service. So basically what you can do, you can provide the number of services to a certain number of users to avoid any such bills. So what we'll do, we'll come to the IAM dashboard. There might be some groups already created. So what we'll do, we'll first create an user group. You can actually come to this. Okay, I'll begin from the beginning. So there is a dashboard for identity and access management. You can click on the user group. You can come to this section that is called create group. You can simply create a group. You can name it called say Java developers. And there is an existing user. I'll show you how to create a user as well. So there is an existing user called Adi. So I'll select that Adi. And what you will have to do is you will have to attach certain permissions or say policies or say a certain number of AWS resources to that particular account. So what you can do, so in the group named Java developers, there is an user called Adi. And what he or she can do is can access the services. So let's say we are giving an access to EC2. So what this EC2 will do, we'll open this. So what this EC2 will do, provides administrative access to the Amazon ECR resources. So we'll go back to the user section. So we'll create an user say, Adi 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is an option called provide user access to the AWS management console. So when you click on this checkbox, the another user Adi 1234 can actually have an access to the AWS management console with limited number of IAM resources. So what you can do, you can actually provide the access to that user, and then you can specify a you can do it in two ways. That is, specify a user identity center, or you can actually create an IAM user. So what we'll do in this case, we'll create an IAM user. So IAM user will be provided an login credentials where he or she can log in and only access those set of services. So here we'll create a user name Adi1234. We will provide the user access to the AWS management console. I want to create an IAM user, and then you can actually create an auto-generated password. You need not to worry. Suppose you are a team lead and you are creating an account for your member in your team. So what you can do, you can create an auto-generated message. You can directly send the link to that user. You need not to even create a password. So you can there is an option for auto generation, and you have to also check mark this very important box, that is user must create a new password at next sign in, which means user can forget the auto generated password because it will be only set and sent at one time. So what this checkbox will make the user do is, if the user he or she is trying to re-log in, at that time they have to recreate the password, make a custom password for themselves, and then they can simply have the access to the console. So what we'll click on the next, and okay. So and now we'll create a group. We'll create a new group. Say Java Dev, and to the Java Dev we are providing a set of services, that is EC2, which provides access to the administrative access level. So we are providing an EC2 access, and suppose there is another thing called S3. So we'll have to type simple workflow. Okay. So we can provide an access, provides full access to the first simple workflow, and then we'll create a user group. Group is invited alphanumeric. Okay. So it is asking us to, it must only contain alphanumeric characters. Okay. So we'll create a group, Java 1234, and is small. Okay. So the Java 1234 user group has been created, and a certain level of policies have been attached, like EC2 and S3. So at this case, okay, so we have also set up the permissions. So Java 1234, the user has been attached to this Java 1234, and then we click on the next, and yeah. So we have attached two policies, that is IAM user change password. That is, once the user tries to access the account, he or she has to very importantly set an password, new password, custom password for the account, and the group Java 123 has been assigned with a certain level of permissions for the EC2 and S3 bucket. So now we'll create an user for this. Okay, so here comes the very important part. We have to share this URL with the user or the team member for whom the account has been created. The username for this person will be Adi1234, and this will be the password. We will have to just copy this password and send it to the user. So what user can do? User can use this link, and user can use this ID and this password to log in. And once he or she logs into the account, the custom password will have to be created very mandatorily. So you might lose access to this part, right? There might be some issues coming up with. So you can simply create and download an CSV file, which will be having the credentials of the user. Okay. So where we'll be using this credentials, right? So I'll just quickly go to an incognito tab, and I'll search for the AWS Management Console once again. And when you go to this URL of the AWS account, there will be an option for sign into console. So once you sign into the console, there will be two options. So okay, so there are two options. So that one is IAM user sign in, the user account that we have created for the particular user. Will have to use that Adi123 and the account password which was created for that specific user, and then we'll have to sign in. But there is another way of using the sign in route. Okay, there is a main account, that whichever account you create on AWS, that is the root account. which means the email ID. So you can see my email ID here, right? So you can use your email ID, and that account is called root account. So it is clearly mentioned here, account owner that performs task requiring unrestricted access. So in a project, when a user has been create an account for IAM, he or she will be limited with very few number of services to his or her account. So we will be avoiding any such big amount of billings on that user. So one is root account and another is IAM account. So if you are trying to limit the access to your employee, so you have to create an IAM account. And when your team lead wants to access the all number of services, the root account will be provided to your team lead. So this is how logging activity works in the AWS. So give me a minute. Okay. So I'll quickly paste a poll for you all. Okay. I hope the poll is visible on your screen. Will take a minute. Yeah. Okay, you can quickly go to this poll. Can you all quickly respond to this poll? Khwaja, is it visible to you or anyone else can confirm? Yes. So
Yes,
can I
visible.
quickly get some responses from you all? Okay. Okay. ठीक है. So we'll continue to the PPT part of our presentation. Give me a minute. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to you all. The first thing is we have understood why and what IAM is and why do we use it. And coming to the next slide, that is what are all the components of IAM. So what the components are nothing but what we have created just now. The first component is the user. So what user does is the user will be attached some policies, the user will be added to a group, and the user can only access those limited services in a certain time period. And whenever you see an activity that the user is exceeding the limit, you can check into the AWS cost explorer through the AWS budgets, and you can see which user is spending a lot, or say which user is using a lot of number of servers of EC2, IAM, or any other such things. So so you can track actually. Second thing is the groups. You can create a group for a set of users, and only those set of users or those set of developers can access the number of services. Whenever you say you create a website for your company and you host it live, so what you do is you can just simply use EC2 or CloudFront or S3 to add your content or your code or AWS Lambda. You can simply add your code and you can make it live and connect your DNS domain name system of your website, and you can make it live through the URL. So these are all the authority, or say the number of services can be attached to those people in the groups. And what are all the roles they can do is no permanent credentials will be given to them. That is very important. They will have only IAM account, not a root account, not an account which is created on email ID. This is very important. IAM account can be terminated anytime by the user. So I'll show it to you. That is very important. You will have to know. You'll have to know. And very important, the service is EC2 and S3. If you are able to understand what EC2 and S3 and AWS Lambda, AWS RDS are, these are a set of services like 8 to 10 services. If you understand these services, you will be able to crack any entry level interview for the cloud engineer role. So I'll show you how you can delete the existing account for that I am using. I'll reshare my screen. I'll share my entire screen once again. Okay. So you can come back to the screen. Okay, perfect. So you can go back to the AWS Cost Explorer. You can just go to the budget, billing and cost management. You have to remember this service, billing and cost management. You can simply search for budgets. You will get this. So very this morning, I got a mail that I have been exceeded the limit of $1.17. So let this side load. Okay, perfect. So you can check this billing and payment section. You can open the bills part. And once you come to the bills part, you can see what service is giving you what amount of bills. So Elastic Cloud Computing has given me 0.00 dollar. You can click on plus and you can see in what region or what availability zone I have been using. So right now my account is global. I can access any number of any availability zone available throughout the world. So you will have to explore this site, that is United States. This is in region. As Asia Pacific is in region, Canada is in region, Europe is in region, and South America is in region. And what are all the names written in between are the availability zones or say the data centers present in the specific region. So coming to Asia Pacific, we have in Mumbai, another for AP South. For the southern part of India, we have in Hyderabad a very important data center which is fully functioning in India, and this is for the disaster recovery. Coming to the disaster recovery part, whenever there is an collapse of data centers, could be maintenance level of internet or say any security threat of any kind of intrusion. So at that time, what you can do, you can have a backup part of backup data center. One goes down, the other comes up. So this is how cloud works in real life. So to understand what are all the services that have been charged, you can come to this part, AWS Cost Explorer. Okay, no, wait, I'll try to reshare my screen if it is needed. Okay. Okay, coming to this part, how much I have been charged throughout the month or throughout the year. So continuing from June, let's say the account was created in June, not specifically. So in this case, from June till now, I have been charged for $1.35. So out of which it was $1.12 for the EC2, 0.23 for taxation. They will also charge us for the taxation. And there are many other services that I have been using, that is key management service, EC2, VPC, that is virtual private cloud, Cloud Shell, Glue, Secret Manager, location service, SNS. SNS is nothing but simple notification service. SQS is nothing but simple queue service. If you all are coming from a background of computer science, that is BCA or BTech, you might know that there is a concept of first in, first out. So this is the concept that how it works in SQS. So that first in goes out first. So this is how it works in SQS. Another that is S3, that is very important, that is simple storage service. So I will come across this a few services in the upcoming classes. So I'll reshare my screen. Give me a minute. Okay. Um, hmm. So what are all the real world IAM scenarios? Like who exactly are the consumers or say the customers of these services? The one is developer. A developer will create an EC2 instance, host the website, use S3 if needed for the sorry, for the storage. This is how they actually make it live. And suppose there is a new developer or say a new startup and they want to host their website live, what they can do is they can simply spin up an EC2 instance and they can load their code and they can make it live. You need not even connect your DNS for that. You will have an URL generated by the AWS management console. You can simply copy that URL and make Google for it. The second is finance scenario where you can suppose as I said an example for bill has been exceeding for some services. So what you can do, you can simply create an IAM for that specific team, and you can create a you can hire a person for managing the services or say managing the accounts of the people who have been accessing the services. At that time, they can simply check on that this user has been using billing generating bill of hundreds of dollars. So we will revoke the access to that particular user. Another is service scenario where you can host your existing website or say migrate an existing website from on-premise to the cloud. You can use S3 bucket for the storage, and you can use EC2. You can create IAM user role for that particular team, and you can make it accessible for the team. So give me a minute. I'll reshare my screen. Okay, so now we'll see how exactly we are gonna delete and I mean, we have already created users. Now we will understand how we are gonna delete the users. So coming to the home screen of the this AWS management console, we will go to this IAM identity and access management. We'll come back to this dashboard. And here you can see users. We have created a specific user called Adi1234 for the group of Java developers. So suppose that user has been creating generating a lot of bill for us. So it shows us what's the ARN for the user when the account was created. It will be showing us the real time, and the console access has been enabled for this account. As you can see for this account, number 3, you can see that the console access has been given to the user. So what you can do, if suppose the user has been generating a lot of bill, you can simply click on this checkbox and delete the user permanently. So you have to just simply type confirm for confirming, and you just delete the user, and the entire credentials whichever you have been created and provided to the user becomes void. I mean, it becomes no more useful for the user. So the user has been revoked. So you can just refresh this and you can see that there is no user for Adi1234. It's as simple as that. It's very easy. It's very simple. Like you create a group on WhatsApp, you make this some people admin, and some people are sending up messages in the group, and admin can actually delete those messages, right? And then you and the admin can kick out the people from the group if there is some nuisance caused in the group. So this is how exactly works in AWS management console. So let's get back into the slide. So, this is very important model in AWS that is AWS shared responsibility model. So, for what reasons the user is responsible, for what reasons both user and AWS is responsible, and for what certain sort of things AWS is responsible. So, let's begin with the AWS responsibility. That is very important. What AWS does is they provide you the hardware, which means the availability zone, that is the data center that is being provided by AWS. That is in India's example, that is one Mumbai and another is Hyderabad. So they will be providing the hardware and AWS global infrastructure, that is Mumbai or many other Asia Pacific regions in throughout the Asia. Second is they provide software for compute storage and database and networking. So we have come across IAM, we have come across budget. So these are set of services that they provide as a software, over the internet, that is on the AWS management console. So these are for all these sort of things, AWS is responsible. So coming to the first part, that is customer responsible. So basically what customer is responsible is for, we'll take a real example, that is there is a user on Instagram. So user is responsible for the certain activities on his account, right? uh, Amazon cannot use his account and like some post on their Instagram, right? So user is solely responsible for his data. So it works as same in AWS case. The user is responsible for data. User is responsible for account password, account login credentials, and all sort of things. So whenever an Instagram user is trying to share his credentials, so he himself is say the reason for account. Like there could be anything, right? The account can be misused by any people and many people. So it is the same in the case of AWS cloud. The user is solely responsible for the encryption or say the credentials of the account. Okay. So coming to the customer or AWS, where the both the people are responsible. So let's start from the down part, that is OS network firewall configuration. So what AWS does is they provide the software updates, networking updates, and they will be asking us to create an firewall. Firewall is nothing but a security level for your EC2 instances or many other services. So you are responsible for creating your policies. You are responsible for creating your own security for your account. So platform and application management. So when you host an application or say a website, a developer is responsible for creating or managing the account on or say the website on the cloud. So he has to make the changes. He has to add or delete the resources from there. Another is traffic protection, network traffic protection. So what this means is, so we took an example of Book My Show where the number of users were increasing from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So for this part, AWS is solely responsible. They will be managing that how many number of servers has to be increased when the number of users are increasing. You are not responsible for that. You have to only pay the bill amount the number for the number of services or for the number of servers that have been used. Another is server side encryption. So for the server side encryption, one is you have to create the credentials, and for the second thing, AWS will never leak your data, which means you load any type of user data to the AWS cloud through a S3 bucket. Only you and the AWS is responsible for that thing, right? One, you have to not share your credentials. Second thing, AWS will never ever share your data across any platform. So this is a very important part. So best practices for your account is you have to enable multi-factor authentication. So what exactly multi-factor authentication is? You have to have multiple ways or multiple level of protection for your account. One could be your phone number, one could be your email ID, one could be your fingerprint which you use on your mobile, one could be your passkey, could be anything. So this is a very important thing that you should know. You have to create an multi-factor authentication. This is a must and should if you're creating an account on AWS. Second is least privileges. So we have understood in IAM that we have to provide very less number of services to the user level access in the certain groups. So the very less amount of bill will be generated. So protection root account. So whenever you create an root account, you should not immediately share those credentials to anyone because the employees are variable, but the boss is not. So what the boss will do, he will create an account. He will be making sure that set of IAM accounts has been created, and those IAM accounts has been made accessible to the users or say the employees, and immediately revoked in two cases. That is, one, if the services are being misused, and second, if the employee exits from the company. Another is rotate access keys. So what you can do is every 90 days you have to change the access keys. So this is a best practice to have. So the people who are sorry. Okay. So people who are trying to access, they should be revoked. Another is enable cloud trail. Cloud trail is very important to have a good practice. That is number of login, number of logout. How AWS charges us is the number of logins. The API request will be sent from the user's account. So you can actually track कि कौन सा user कितना request भेज रहा है, कौन सा user कितनी बार login logout कर रहा है. You can track that and you can revoke the access to the user. So these are all the things that we have understood in today's class. So let's before getting into this part, give me a second. Okay. So we'll have a quick recap for what exactly we have understood today. One is AWS budgets, how important it is to create an AWS budget. Two is what exactly IAM is, why it is important, and how we create an user groups and roles for the specific users. And IAM policies, policies is nothing but attaching the service level access to the users. Another is shared responsibility, which means how much for how much conditions the user is responsible, for how many things the AWS cloud is responsible, or say any cloud providing service company. Another is best practices, that what are all the best practices that you can actually have on your account, that you should enable multi-factor authentication, you should change the pass keys, you should enable cloud trial, and many things. So we have had multiple quizzes. So we'll get back to the last slide, that is what are all the things that we are going to learn tomorrow. One is AWS EC2. We will spin up the EC2 instances. We will quickly host our code to the EC2. Second is we'll see what exactly simple storage services, that is AWS S3. We will use it, we will host it, we will make it accessible publicly to the people, and we will, most importantly, we will delete it, because if we keep it live, we will be charged for that. And we will understand how AWS cloud deployment architecture thing works, and we will have a hands-on on that. So this is all for the today's session. We'll quickly create another poll for today's class. Give me a minute. Okay. So the poll is live. You can quickly see the poll and you can vote for it. And if I find that many people are having any difficulty on certain thing, we will have a quick recap on it. So you can vote for it. Okay, someone has voted for policies. There are many people in this meeting. You can vote for what you feel that it was very confusing, or you want a quick recap on it. Okay, so what basically policies is, when you create an account for an user or an IAM account for an user, you will have to attach some certain sort of services that could be S3, that could be RDS, that could be Lambda. Such certain sort of things will be attached to that user account, and that is nothing but policies. Okay, perfect. So, Ravi sir, can you make it public chat available? I mean, publicly available, or is it already? Okay, take it. Khoja, can you hear me?
Yes, Aditya.
Okay, so is the public chat available for everyone?
No, I'm seeing if replies are restricted in my mobile, but in laptop it's working.
Okay, perfect. Then it is actually visible to the people. So yeah, that's all for the today's session. I hope that you people create an account for AWS Management Console and come back for tomorrow's class, and we will spin up some EC2 instances. We will spin up some S3 bucket, and we'll add some data to it, and we'll see how cloud deployment architecture works. Okay. Okay. I'll end the meeting. Thanks for joining.